does. He posted a couple images. So, all right. What is this, number 72? Photo sharing discussion number 72. So, thanks, guys, for popping in after another quick break to cover the Labor Day holiday. We are back. Although I'm thinking now that maybe Sunday night might be better than Saturday. So maybe we'll take a poll at the end. I know maybe it's a little easier for you, Frank, to make Sunday night than Saturday. Just depends.
Probably.
Okay.
It all depends on what's going on.
And Rui, it's just late every time we talk, so.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll just have to see. I mean, it's definitely going to either stay on Saturday or maybe move to Sundays. But number 72, and it should be good, I think, all the way through the end of the year here. Well, no, one weekend near the end of October, probably not, but that's going to be a ways away. But we've got a fair amount of images posted to the group. I posted a couple, and I've got, I don't know, did anybody else, did you participate in the 500 PX photo walk, Rui, or not?
No, they didn't actually do that in Lisbon.
Okay.
They had one in Porto, I guess.
Okay. All right.
But not here.
Okay. And you, Frank, you didn't? I don't know if they had one in your area or not. Okay.
No, they didn't have one.
Okay.
I actually looked. I didn't see any.
Okay. Yeah, that was yesterday, and I went down to the Buckhead section of Atlanta, which is kind of in the north part of the downtown area, and met up with, I don't know, we had probably 25 other photographers that showed up, and just wandered around for a few hours, kind of cityscape type photography. But last week, I'm gonna do the big view. I went down and I did for photo walk. I used to use one camera all the way, and this is one I picked up. My latest camera, the big reveal. Ta-da! A 1979 Olympus XA film camera. Picked this up. This is one that my dad had back in the day. It was his backpacking portable camera, and I was up visiting the parents, and he goes, "Hey, I've got this camera. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So picked it up. It's got a really good lens. It's a 2.8 35 millimeter lens. It is aperture priority. It's just got the little, and it's a rangefinder focus system. So you've got the, I don't know, have you ever seen this camera before, Frank? Do you ever?
Oh, sure.
Okay, yeah. They had the XA, and then they had the XA Plus, which I think was maybe a little bit better. But, it's got the aperture adjustment here on the side, and you can actually see the aperture open and closing, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Rangefinder focus, minimum focus is 2.8 feet. It goes 2.8, 4, 8, and infinity. So pretty good. All manual. It's got an electronic kind of needle meter on the right, on the left side of the viewfinder, and works pretty good. He hadn't used it in probably 20 years. I opened it up, kind of cleaned everything off. The seals looked good. So I put a roll of my cheap black and white film, the Kentmere 100, ISO 100 film. Grand total of about $2.50 for 36 exposures, and put it in there. And I did the photo walk with this. So I developed the film from it last night. It's dry, and I'm just flattening it out. So I'll probably scan that in this week. But it was kind of funny because I met a few people that I know in the area that were down there, and they had their their DSLRs with multiple lenses, and they go, "What'd you bring?" I was like, "This." They're like, "Huh?" And I say, "I've got one roll of film, one focal length, and and 100 speed film. So this is like my one photo walk." And he said, "How many exposures?" 36 exposures. So this lasted me almost the entire photo walk. And it was kind of fun. It kind of forced me to really pay attention to what I was doing, and only press the shutter button when I saw something that I liked. So it was kind of fun. The initial look at the negatives looked like it was pretty good. It'll be interesting to see what the focus was like when I get it scanned. But fun little camera. It seems to work great. It's a good street photography film camera. I think it's pretty straightforward. I kind of figured out the focusing and everything. And it seemed like it worked well. So that's the latest camera. You even got the manual, you know, and the commemorative box too. So got the whole get up. So we'll see. But I'm going to develop or scan in the take a look at the images tomorrow. Probably scan in any good ones. Hopefully there are a few. It's a few good scenes. So hopefully the images came out. But the bonus was if you are on 500px, you handed to walk. At least in our city, they handed out discount cards, renewal cards. So get a 25% discount on renewing your paid membership.
Subscription.
Yeah. So I mean that was that's
Nice.
worth $15 or something like that. You know, it's not bad for the drive, I guess. 20-minute drive down there and walk around. So it's pretty good. But we'll see. We'll develop scan it in negatives and see how it turns out. So that was my big excitement this weekend. The one roll of film photo.
Looking forward to see the results.
Yeah, hopefully there's some good ones. We'll see. But I'm going to jump into the screen share here and go into the group and see. Hopefully everybody can see. There we go.
Yep.
Everybody can see that. Good. Let's see what we did. Yeah. I think this is the last one we did, which was my film shot from Chicago from a month ago. And then, okay, and Wesley posted a few here, and this is a really cool shot. I don't know where this is. Probably in Florida, I guess. Maybe on the University of Florida campus. But that's a pretty neat idea for a bridge. It's got really bright colors, and looks like he did an HDR on it. It looks like.
Yeah, the clouds are a little over-processed.
Made with the Canon. Okay, yeah.
ESM.
Yep. Okay, that's his. He seems to enjoy the camera. I guess he's figured out the how to remedy the focus situation, which is nice.
Yeah, he's been using it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
At least to put into the pictures he posts.
Yeah, it seems to be working out pretty good for him. But yeah, it's kind of neat shape and structure. Very nice. The chrome, I guess it's probably stainless or aluminum for the piers, and then the red coming through. What's he call it? The Helix bridge? Yeah, Helix bridge.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Got the red and then the green,
then
the blue sky.
Yep.
I like it.
Road down there. Yeah, it's a nice combination, and he's got it kind of nice. Get the railing in there too. Got a couple different sets of leading lines, kind of taking you through the shot.
Complementary colors of the red of the beams and the blue sky.
Yep. No, he's got a little bit of green up here in the building, whatever this is up here. Green in the trees. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Nice focus, but yeah, you can't see a little bit of the artifacts in the clouds, but that's tough to do. HDR is really tough to get just using HDR software to get the to get rid of the halos and that type of thing.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah,
it's very easy to go overboard.
Yeah, it is, and it's just literally, it just seems like you just move the slider just a tiny bit one way or the other, and it goes.
And I've noticed that more so with Photomatics than Nik software. Nik software is very conservative relative to Photomatics. You really got to try hard on Nik to go overboard.
Yeah, that's. I would agree. I've been using Nik pretty much exclusively the last 2 years. I downloaded the trial of Photomatics and playing around with it. I don't know if I like it better or not. The only reason I would use it, and maybe it's not even an issue, is that it has this selective deghosting where you can essentially designate which areas to apply the deghosting to, whereas Nik doesn't. But I don't know if that's a big deal or not. Anybody have any input on that? Has it been an issue one way or the other? It really hasn't for me.
You know, if you shoot seascapes, you can. If you're shooting shots with people in it, it can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shooting in windy environments, and you've got the plants moving back and forth, it can.
Mhm.
So it really is subject dependent.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and I haven't run into too many issues with it, but I haven't shot a lot of scenes with people in it either. So
Mhm.
at least HDR images. So it's interesting. I'm still playing around with it a little bit, and I guess you could remedy it a little bit by dumping it into Photoshop and doing some masking and uh, layering if you wanted
Sure.
to. Yeah, you could just mask out the people on the section that were moved and then dump in the layer that was the best and then put it together.
Easily.
Yeah, so that
Mhm.
might be the alternative. And that might be the way I end up going. It just keep my HDR effects and learning to use Photoshop a little bit on that. Yeah, I wonder if this is on the same walk. But super vibrant colors once again here. Looks like water lilies, I guess. Yeah. What did we say? Cedar Lakes. And this is cool. Got the power of three working here. We got the
Hmm.
Yeah.
three flowers. Um, that's nice. And then this little bit of fern coming down here, I think really really helps.
Yeah. Because otherwise it would be just a gray wall.
Hmm.
It's just a piece of concrete.
Yeah. The only thing is maybe I don't know. Would it be better to have the fern right in the corner? I don't know. That would be maybe you could crop it a little bit and have the fern a little bit closer to the corner. I don't know. That would be the only.
My problem is that the concrete is the brightest part of the image, so
Yeah.
it really competes heavily with the three lilies here
Yeah.
Yeah.
for attention.
Yeah. It's kind of bright
So
here, but
Hmm.
it's not enough. I mean, this is probably about as bright as the concrete, but there's not enough of it to to
mhm.
uh, to get past the concrete on the back.
Yeah, so maybe if it had the ability to get really low on, because he's shooting down at the flowers. If he
Hmm.
got down below the level of the blooms, then it would be more impactful, maybe even tighter shot. Maybe you could have moved a little bit to the right and uh, had a different background, possibly,
Hmm. Yeah. Now he says
or using a split grad here would easily darken up the concrete as well.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. You could do it just in Lightroom even.
Yeah.
Just darken
Mhm.
that down a little. Darken that down
Yeah.
to
He
the
says
top where
something
it's.
about. Yeah, he says something about the vegetation that is overgrown, makes it hard to photograph.
Okay.
Hmm.
So maybe it couldn't get lower because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. An abandoned limestone quarry. That's cool. He's kind of reclaimed it and done a water garden. Yeah, that's neat. Water gardens are neat. We have
Hmm.
one. Um, it's a company here locally that does landscaping, commercial and residential landscaping, and the guy that owns that has a lot of family property that he has turned into his own personal gardens, and he's done a lot of water garden, water features, and
Okay,
they're
contact.
really cool, really cool. Yeah, it's a nice shot, nice colors, but yeah,
Yeah.
I reduce make the background a little less prominent.
Hmm.
Maybe change the angle a little bit. Yeah, it's
What
a
was
nice
the f-stop on this and lens used?
F8.
Yeah, I think if he had the ability to open up his lens, that would have thrown the background much more out of focus. I don't see why he needed to use f8 here.
Well, it's a 70 to 300 lens at
So he had
120. Yeah, it's probably he
yeah
probably couldn't get much more than
5.6,
6. Yeah,
mhm,
that's probably about
which
it.
would have not made a whole lot of difference.
Yeah, I think you'd have to go down to like 3.5 or something at that
Yeah,
probably to get much of a difference.
or back up and use a stronger position of the lens.
Yeah.
Just a 300 at f5.6.
Hmm. Yeah, that might be it. And yeah, but maybe these are moving too. I mean, you want to keep the shutter speed Well, it wouldn't have mattered. He gone a little lower, could have gotten a little faster shutter speed. So yeah, that might just be where the lens is at,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, he would have been at that point. He would have been shooting at 500 at 5.6. So
Yeah,
yeah, no problem.
yeah, yeah. But the F 5.6 to 8 wouldn't have made that big a difference. But yeah, that's a
Mhm.
neat. That'd be fun to rework. Maybe crop a little bit and move it around and see if you could
Right,
realign it or put a filter. And you're just in
right,
Lightroom, just uh, reduce the exposure on that a little bit. I think it'd be good.
right. 'Cause that's really
Nice to mix it up.
the big deal with the APS-C cameras is trying to narrow down your depth of field to blur out backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough.
Hmm.
There we go. Looks like someone's getting married. I don't know. It's either a
Yeah,
wedding or a funeral, so I don't know.
that's a that's a
Oh,
groom.
okay. Maybe a wedding and a funeral, depending on. Cool. So is this a friend of yours?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine. This is actually first wedding. I went as actually I went to help a friend. So, but three of us worked together. So this one
Oh,
got married. He's the groom.
okay.
And the other one back there with the bluish shirt
Mm-hmm.
is the other friend, which was the photographer for the wedding. And
Okay.
then this this kind of friend asked me to go and film it. So I was there as a second photographer, but mostly as the videographer.
Okay. Cool.
So
And
the first wedding I
you shot it with
did,
the 600D. You shot the video with
hmm
that too. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So this is the first wedding I did, and went well. The video, I guess.
Good.
It's very nice light.
Actually, thank you.
Yeah.
Is this
I
ambient
actually
or is
ran out
it
of
flash?
no ambient, all ambient.
Okay. So there was a window or something over to the left, probably.
Yeah, over to the left. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nice Rembrandt lighting. Nice.
I love his tie too. I mean, that was probably a fun wedding, I would imagine, just given the color that he chose for his tie. It was
Yeah, and the bride's dress also had a little bits of green.
hmm,
So
very cool.
yeah.
Yeah, good looking guy too.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, we were waiting for the ceremony to begin. I was adjusting the camera, setting the video settings, and took this shot as a test.
mm-hmm.
So
And you shot the video with the 50 to 150 lens too.
there's some of it, yeah, depending on the situation, and then
Okay.
switch to the 50,
Okay.
and then uh, another lens for my friend. Don't remember which one.
Okay. So the 50 to
Two other
150, if I
lenses.
remember right, is that the Sigma? Is that the Sigma 50 to 150?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is it a pretty standard? It's not a, is it a real fast lens or is it a fixed aperture or is it a variable aperture?
This is a fixed. It's the one that 2.8, the one I shot the color run with.
Oh, okay. Great. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 2.8.
This is a 2.8.
Yeah, that's a nice lens then. It's got a good job. Hey, Raj.
Yeah, it performs well.
Looks like Raj is here, kinda, maybe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. Yeah, that's a nice. The lighting's great. I love the color, the tie. That's just that's a great color. And you get the night. You get the yeah, just the lighting. It's very nice and enough blur. I mean, so you know you can see the flowers in the background and everything. It's a nice.
Yeah, the modeling of the light really adds a lot of three-dimensionality to it. I mean, it looks like he's really separated from the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's an yeah. I mean, it is just very
Yeah,
nice.
it helped a lot because of the position, because the window was right on the left, and
Oh,
after
okay.
that there was a big wall with no light whatsoever.
Then the next window is
So
this
if you
one
see
back
on,
at the back of the frame.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, at the beginning of the flowers on the left.
Okay.
If you see, there's actually a person on the bottom left.
Down here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that white is actually a shirt,
Oh, okay.
That's a hand where you have your mouse, and then the face on a little bit up
Oh, wow.
to the left.
Okay.
You just burned it in.
So that's a person.
Yeah. Huh.
So that's a person, but because she's in the shade, you can actually tell what it is.
Yeah. Okay. No,
So the lighting actually helped.
yeah, very nice shot. Yeah, this is definitely one where you want a nice big aperture, because you get enough blurring of the background to really, like Frank said, kind of separate the subject from the background.
Cool.
And it was at 64 millimeters. Yeah, so right in that. That's 600D, so that's right about it's about 100 millimeter equivalent, which is right in that sweet spot for portraits. So very nice. I love the light and the color in that one. Yeah, this is probably from the same wedding. Oh, there's the green in
Yeah.
the dress. Okay.
Yeah.
This has got a very ethereal effect to it.
Yeah,
Just
I actually
the
put
light.
a radial filter
Okay.
in Lightroom, add a little blur, nothing over the top,
Okay.
and
Little
nothing
blur up
much
here.
besides that.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's kind of tough shooting on a day like that because of the contrast in the light. You know, like your shoulders are a bit hot,
Mm-hmm.
but there's not much you can do unless you bring a huge diffuser with you,
Yeah.
or put it under shade or something.
Get somebody to get the 6-foot diffuser to hold up.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we got Raj in stereo here today. You there, Raj? Good morning. No, we're not hearing him. Maybe he's not awake yet. He's just he just turns on the video. He just turns on the cam when he wakes up. He's not awake, so he can't speak.
Automatic join.
Yeah. What time is it? Yeah, it's like 4:30 in the morning there. All right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so that's a nice shot. I like that. I really like this one, really. This is very nice. The colors, she's got a great look on her face. She looks happy.
Yeah, she was.
And was this right after the ceremony?
No, this is actually before
Okay.
the ceremony.
All right. F2.8. Okay.
Much better light.
Yeah.
It was probably a partly cloudy day. The sun was coming in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, I actually got a chance to photograph with the cloud on between the sun, in front of the sun. So much uniform, much better lighting.
Yes, it's just very well diffused and very yeah.
It's nice and soft.
You got nice focus on her right there, and but yet the flowers that she's holding in her hand are still nice. Yeah. Very nice.
I don't know whether if you had used a flash here, whether the angle of her head would have allowed you to get some catch light in the eyes or not.
Oh, like over here?
Yeah, I mean her eyes are a bit deep and dark and lifeless because there's no catch light. But I don't know if you had used a flash, whether you would have been able to see the light reflecting back because of the angle of her head.
We would have had to put the flash over here somewhere, right?
Or on camera, yeah.
And then angle the flash off to the photographer's right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you had doing something like that, then that allows you to have a little freedom with your shutter speeds to maybe underexpose the background just a little bit, and then it just adds even more pop on your subject, especially if you put like a warming gel or something on your flash. So then you have a little bit of more warmth on her, not a whole lot. You don't want to overdo it. But what's the shutter speed on this one?
1,000th.
Yeah. That'll be a little bit difficult shooting 1,000th of a second with that camera with the flash, unless you have high speed sync.
And I don't think the this one goes. I don't know what the sync is on it. Do you know, Rui? I've done so little flash photography.
Probably
I don't even know
125.
flash.
And 125, yeah, 125. Yeah.
1250. Okay. Yeah, you would need something to go up to what, maybe like a 500th or something, Frank, on that high speed.
Well, if you still wanted to use this, I mean, if you're at 500, you're at 4.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you would have to have some sort of high-speed sync because of the of the camera syncing only at 125th.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is fine because high-speed sync, that's all you're using it is for outdoor anyways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need a whole lot of power.
I shot this at 2.8 at 150.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually pretty far away. If I'd used maybe 3 or 4, I'd still get that bokeh, that separation.
Yeah.
And then I could use a different speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other option would be to use a neutral density filter. That would lower down the amount of light coming in, and that would allow you to use longer shutter speeds.
Like a 2-stop or
something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it would have helped a lot actually because it didn't have the neutral density or the polarizer.
Mm-hmm.
And for film, that's actually a must.
Yeah.
Because in several shots during the wedding, I was always changing the exposure from the exterior to the interior of a building or something like that, and it got hard to keep the aperture I wanted, and I didn't have the filter, so some shots were actually quite hard.
Yeah, I think so.
Can imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, you did a pretty good job. The only thing I would do is, this thing is a little distracting over here. They could clone that out or something like that. But
clone that out, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a very nice shot. I mean, she's a.
You just crop off the right hand side.
You could just crop it off. Right?
You got a tremendous amount of space on the right hand side now, which would be great if you're going to use this like as a card and put some text on that side. That would be perfect.
But you could still cut off. Yeah, you could still cut off right here and still.
Yeah, and still not actually maybe even enhance the overall look of the image a little bit.
Yeah, that's nice. A nice image. Very nice.
Possible.
Here's Greg. I know he's followed every once in a while. He hasn't joined in, so hopefully, if you're watching this after the fact, Greg, just make sure. I don't know if you're in the circle or not, but I'll go ahead and track you down and add you to the circle so you get the invite for this. I know you've submitted a few images here. Interesting reflection shot. He calls it single and alone. And doesn't.
I don't think it's a reflection actually.
Well, yeah, the log coming up is probably or is not, and then the reflection of the trees. Yeah. The
reflection of the trees. Yeah. The log, it's not a reflection.
Yeah, I think this is in the foreground, and this is all in the background. But yeah, I mean wow, the water is super quiet. I mean, there's no ripples at all in the water. Yeah. It's like a mirror. This must have been taken early in the morning, before things got stirred up. Norfolk Botanic Gardens. Okay. So a smaller pond or something like that. But it's kind of interesting. I wonder if he used a polarizer. I don't know. That would be more in the top, though, wouldn't it, Frank? Wouldn't that be more? If it was a polarizer, it'd be more in the corner.
Well, if you use a polarizer, you would have gotten rid of the reflections in the water.
Yeah. I don't know what this. Maybe he did a little vignette or something. Or maybe that was just a lens.
Yeah. I'm thinking if you used a polarizer, he potentially could have gotten rid of the reflections in the water, which is something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
The only filter that I would probably recommend on something like this would maybe a little bit of a split grad to lower because the trees on the upper right hand corner, they're a bit hot.
Yeah, in comparison to the ones over here. Yeah.
Just to even out the tones.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm sure you probably could do a little bit of that in post as well, without having to use a
you
filter.
probably could. Yeah, you just reduce that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting shot though. This I love the colors. This is just the two corners. So I don't know if that was like just fall off from the lens, probably.
It looks like a posting issue,
Yeah,
post-processing issue.
yeah. But yeah, if you could blend this out a little bit, get rid of this, and make it more consistent with the rest of the water,
Hmm.
it'd be really. That's interesting. I like that. Good shot, Greg. And I will track you down and add you to the circle if I can, so you get invites. So hopefully you can join in. Here's one from Joe, who is now in Phoenix, and I'm sure he's probably trying to reestablish his network of models that he works with. I think this was when he was still in Albuquerque. Was it Ellie? Yeah. Shot this. No, taken on September 1st. Or maybe that's when he posted, but oh, that's right. He was back. He was back in Albuquerque. That's why he was back in Albuquerque last week. So maybe this is from that. But she has a fair amount of tattoos on her. It looks like ink.
Yeah.
And,
It actually has suicide girls in the text, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe she's part of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think she's if I remember right from Joe, I think she does a lot of like CrossFit type stuff. So she's a fitness model as well.
Mm.
But yeah, it's nice. This is the eyes. I mean, are super sharp in focus and good separation between the foreground. Nice dark inky black background. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Not bad.
Oh, excuse me, guys. Am I audible?
Hey, there you are, Raj. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
4:30 in the morning
Yes.
there, something like that.
Yeah. Google is really improving Hangouts. It only took me like 7-8 attempts to get connected this time.
Wow. All right. That's good. Well, I'm glad you're able to join us. You've probably been watching as I've been going through the images here, but
Yeah, I don't have any images this time. And actually, I'll be catching a train in like few minutes.
Oh,
Not
okay.
few minutes, like in an hour or something. So,
Okay.
yeah, we are shooting like a short film for a festival. So, I'm like all packed up and just ready to go in
Oh,
few
cool.
hours.
Is it like
Nice.
a street festival or what is it exactly?
It's a film festival, and like winners get like a good prize as well. And so there's a bunch of us, and we are contributing, and just for experience and exposure, and meet people in the same circle. So that's the thing.
Cool. Yep, that's all good stuff. That's what you want. You get out and start working with other people and
Yep.
get your name out there and build a list of contacts that you can talk to. Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely, networking is really important nowadays. More than talent, networking is a lot more important than talent itself.
Yeah, I would agree. You need to know the right people in order to get the work. So, very good. Cool. Well, glad you could join in. All right.
Okay.
Frank has what 4 or 5 images here. I think he posted, and probably all from the same shoot. What, last weekend or earlier this week? Oh, Frank is.
Sorry,
It's
just
like
need to
fine
unmute
art
my-
come.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a fine art come abstract, both in one picture. Very interesting shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got a few of them like this, Frank. So let's
Mhm.
walk us through them. Let us know what.
Yeah, this is a shot taken, as you can see, it's on film. The Acropan APX25 film is used on. I used a Mamiya RZ67 to take this shot,
Oh, okay. All right.
and
Wow.
to get it digitized, I just photographed it using my a 645 with a macro lens.
Okay, so that's how this. That's why it comes up as a Pentax.
That's why it comes up with 645D.
Okay, but this was actual on Agfa 25. Okay.
And yeah, developed in Rodinal, and I think it was something like a 1:30 dilution, 1:25 dilution, something like that. It's been a while since I developed the film.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. But this is in Point Lobos. I think pretty much everything was at Point Lobos. This is just sandstone.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. Grain. I mean, all this grain that's the film itself, right? I mean, there's a lot of it's the rock.
Not at 25 ASA. No. This is all the texture that you're seeing is actually in the sandstone itself.
Okay. All right.
What about the color? The dark portion, was it there, or did you dodge and burn it later?
That's all there.
Okay.
That's all there.
All this up here. Okay.
There's a little bit of a vignette just to burn in the edges a little bit, but it's pretty much as is. Messed around with darkness, shadows, highlights, and some clarity, and that's about it.
Actually, I was. What was your hardware setup to get it digitized?
I had a white piece of paper, and just had my strip of negatives, and I leaned them up against just a. I just held up a piece, that had some whiteout, leaned it up against it, and photographed the negative, and that was it.
Wow.
I had a window. I have a nice window here, so the light coming in bounced off a white sheet of paper, so to have a nice clear background. And just did it that way. In Photoshop, I just reversed it, Control-I, or Apple-I, or was it Command-I if you're using a Mac. And that just transferred it over from a negative to a positive.
Positive.
Okay.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah.
Nice. I actually have to do that with my roll. I got one slide roll of film. So
you can use a flash as well if you don't have, window. I use a flash, and exactly same thing. A white paper and a flash. And flash will light your negative, and then you'll get a raw file for your photograph.
Doing it that way is even better because then you don't have to worry about using a tripod because your flash is so quick.
Yeah, the flash is enough to.
You just got to make sure that you got enough coverage on the paper that you don't have a hot spot.
Yeah. The flash covers the entire image, not just a portion of it. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
You need to diffuse that, yeah. To avoid hot spots. Wow, that's even more interesting, actually.
Yeah, the shapes and.
Yep.
I guess this is just erosion patterns on the sandstone, right? Right, coming from
exactly.
The water coming up. Yeah.
Actually, this image and the one before it, they're identical. They're the same picture. That is just the other picture rotated 180 degrees.
Oh.
That's wow.
Very nice. Interesting.
Wow.
They're identical shots.
Okay.
Wow, that's really impressive.
When I first developed this, I looked at the negative, and the negative doesn't look like this. It looks like the other one. And I was looking all over my contact sheets, wondering how come I don't see that image on my contact sheets. And I just realized if you flip it upside down, it looks like all the ridges look like indentations.
Oh, so this here on this image, this stuff down here in the lower right is actually this.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, this is really interesting. Very, very interesting.
It's completely different. It is. Yeah, that's very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, you look at and you can see the similarities, but I mean, that
now
is
we can
smooth.
See that. Yeah.
That is smooth and kind of, there's not a lot of rough texture. But this one, looking at the other way, there's there's very definite lines between the layers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, really impressive.
That's one way to save on film. You get 2 shots out of every one you take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's it. Yeah.
By the way, Frank, so you have a medium format digital camera as well? I mean the Pentax.
Yeah, I shoot with a 645D.
All right, so that has a CCD sensor, right?
That's correct.
All right, and that goes up to like 1600 ISO, I guess.
Yes.
And
Yes,
but quality is like tremendously better than CMOS sensors, right? The battery is a problem.
It's different. It's different.
Okay.
I never had a problem with my battery.
All right.
But I don't shoot. I don't shoot and pray.
Okay.
Or what would it pray and spray, whatever the term is. Spray and pray.
Yeah.
The medium format, as Mark knows, it slows you down tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sit here and just rattle off 5 frames in a second. You really think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. The camera really does need to be on a tripod almost all the time.
Yeah. No,
and your usable image ratio. Excuse me.
Oh no, go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, like your usable image ratio is very high. That's it.
Yeah, I would say so. Because I'm doing a lot of pre-editing in my head.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing I find with shooting, especially the roller cord, the film, is like you said, Frank. I do a lot of pre-editing. I get down because I know I only have 12 frames per roll.
Mm-hmm.
I knock out probably 90% of what I would normally shoot, maybe even with the digital, with the film, and I just get down to the stuff that really hits me because I know that every time I push the button, there's
$5. $5.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
It's more so with film.
Yeah, you shot this with which one, Frank? Was this a Mamiya?
This was shot with a Mamiya RZ67.
Okay.
And a 150mm lens.
Okay. All right. Very nice.
So 150 is like normal for.
No, it's a little bit of a portrait lens. It's a short telephoto.
Yeah, that would be like
normal is about
75. Okay.
A 110 is normal. A 110 on the RZ is the same as a 50 on a full frame camera.
Yeah, so this is like equivalent to maybe like a 75 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a short portrait lens.
Yeah, because I have a 75 on my roller cord, and that basically is 50. Yeah, it's a little different because of the mine's a 6x6. Yours is a 6x7 on this one.
But still, you have the depth of field of 150.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. The crop factor may say, people will say, a 50 is the same as an 80. But when you take a look at it, it's not, because you still have the depth of field of a 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The most interesting part, usually we say that normal is 50mm. To be precise, normal focal length for a full frame camera or a film camera, 35mm film camera, is 43mm. That is your normal focal length. And because it's very close to 50, we say 50 is almost normal, and that's why we say 35 is almost normal for the crop sensor cameras. But in reality, if you have a crop sensor camera, actual normal focal length is 28mm, not 35mm.
Yeah, not 35. Yeah. Yeah. And those 5 or 6 millimeters at that point make a difference.
Yes.
Yeah. 5 millimeters going from 25 to 20 is a huge difference than, let's say, a 200 to 205.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you really notice the difference.
Sure.
Really do. Okay, so this.
If you go towards if you go to this wide end, 1 millimeter makes a lot of difference. So if you shift from like 17 to 16, the difference would be like really significant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it makes a huge.
Because you're almost at that point, you're almost at 10% per millimeter.
Yeah, it really adds up. That's like the normal, like the Canon kit lenses in 18 to 55. I have a 15 to 85, and that extra 3 millimeters on the wide end makes a huge difference.
Huge. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Big
A
difference.
lot of difference.
Yeah, big.
Definitely.
A lot more range.
Yeah. If you're wondering whether or not to get lens A or lens B, and lens A is just a couple of millimeters wider, go for the wider angle lens.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Just a lot more. Yeah, the wider.
20-30% difference, yeah.
Yeah.
At least 20-30% difference.
Yeah, exactly. So this one, Frank, is the Point Lobos, same camera. You just did a square crop on it.
I did.
Okay.
I had to.
Okay.
I had to. The reason being is this is I was hand holding this. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was hand holding this straight down, and my left foot got in the left-hand corner of the frame.
That's what I was going to say. There had to be a foot or a hand somewhere here to crop it.
Yeah. So to eliminate and make sure that no one would ever know that I screwed up on this shot, I just made a square format. But of course, now everyone knows.
Well,
so was it really distracting? Was it really distracting?
Oh yeah, it was obvious. I mean, there's the tip of my foot on the left-hand corner of the frame. It was quite obvious, but it worked out fine, I think.
Yeah, the square crop is really nice with this.
Yeah.
I think it is because you've got the different, I don't know, what do you call it, striations or whatever this is, the different colors going around, and it just all, and you've got the center here, these pebbles in the middle, which is just a little off center.
Right.
All the stuff around it. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, they're not perfectly centered. I didn't want that. I would have tossed it if it was.
Yeah.
This is on Weston Beach in Point Lobos.
Okay. No, that's it. That's a very nice shot. I like that. Lots of texture. Nice light to dark. I mean, this is a perfect black and white subject here. I mean,
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it was like a really overcast
My
day.
favorite actually so far.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I would agree. Really, this is very nice.
Mine would be the one before this. The ship, like the opposite one.
Yeah, that one.
This one is my favorite.
Yeah, that's a neat one.
All right. Does this happen with you guys? Like, if you see a black and white image, do you ever start wondering like what color was, especially when you take like a street photography thing or something, a portrait, and you wonder like what color would have been there, like shirt or, you know? I always see these things and I start wondering like, I wonder what color was these pebbles, and what color was the the surrounding.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting because if you obviously if you have a black and white film, that's your only option. If you're gonna capture it, it's black and white, but you see in color. So there's a real interesting transition that goes on in your head, thinking, how would this look in black and white? And but then if you're the person looking at the image and you didn't see it in color, like you're saying, Raj, you look at it and go, well, I wonder what that looked like in color. What were the colors? You know. And
no, I just want to recognize the color. I mean, if someone is wearing a red shirt, I can kind of close. I would probably be able to recognize it. On like 60-70% times, I can tell that this is probably red color, and this is probably green, or this is somehow I can figure out.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
Yeah, no, it is true. I mean, and you take, because the eye, I mean, all the colors when they translate to black and white give you different shades, and I think if you spend enough time looking at black and white and kind of comparing it to the real world with color, you probably do pick up the ability to kind of discern what the actual color was just by looking
like
at
these
the
pebbles,
shading.
I think they were like, I mean, I'm assuming that they were like brown in color, especially the dark ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
there's no color here. It's not like it would be like a glass beach or something where you would have shards of green and red and
Okay.
yellows and
So they were all earth tone, brown.
extremely.
And,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not losing any color. Color was insignificant here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It was a fairly monochromatic image to begin with.
Yeah. That's very nice. Yeah, that's a very nice shot.
Mm.
Ooh, I like this one.
Okay, this is very strong and a little what you call
Surreal?
yeah, sort of. I mean, what I see here is like a face of a girl, a little girl,
Yep, right here.
and which is
Mhm.
like disturbingly what do you call
It's like a Picasso painting of a girl.
yeah, yeah,
If you look at
sort
it.
of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I'm not getting the word for that. Just not getting that word. What's the word for um, something which has lost its dimensions? What do you call that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Surreal.
that's the.
No, not surreal. No.
No, well, one-dimensional, but that's probably not it.
No, again, what do you call that?
Yeah.
Something disfigured. That's what I'm not getting the word, but
Yeah.
something which is lost.
Obviously, you saw it too, Frank, because of the title, and
Right, the Rock Maiden.
yeah. Now this area over here is a little soft. Was there water coming up there, or was that an artifact of photographing the negative?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an artifact of photographing the negative.
Yeah, and maybe you had some
did
curl
perfectly
or
flat.
the level. It wasn't completely flat, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really interesting. I think if you could get it flat, I mean this would come out, and I think it would be even more impactful.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting structure. And this was looking down. I mean, this was just looking on the ground, basically.
Yeah, pretty much had the back of the film parallel to the ground.
Okay. Very cool.
Again,
This will get a lot of attention in a gallery.
Yes.
Well, I'll have to reshoot the negative, obviously, because there's a glaring problem with the left edge. But
now, if you can get that cleared up, I mean, yeah, this is a very, very interesting shot. Very interesting.
I'm probably shooting the right-hand side on a different angle. I bet that has a lot of layers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be interesting.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and shoot this again with my digital just to see.
Yeah. Yep. You can turn it into black and white if you want. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Definitely.
Just to keep the series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very cool. That's a neat shot. That's one of those things that people walk all over the beach and they never look down. It's one of those things where you just look down as you go and you see patterns and shapes and stuff. Very cool.
Yeah, it's the difference between seeing and looking.
Mm-hmm. This looks like, to me, even though it's probably only 3 feet below you because you're looking down again, this looks like a satellite photo of a canyon or something from outer space.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a river going through, and
Yeah.
It's like the NSA spy satellite looking down here.
Google Earth
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, you do lose the sense of scale. What's I guess the reason I took this photo, what attracted me to this particular spot was the contrast and the waviness, the organic shape of the bottom portion, relative to, or in contrast to, the really
geometric
kind
shapes,
of cracks of the area above it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got very angular 90-degree stuff up here, and down here it's curvy.
Random.
From composition's point of view, it shows like, the portion which is nearest to us, towards the bottom, that's probably the most important part. And even if you did not choose to make it because of composition, because it's like on top of everything, our eyes will go first on anything which is like on top of everything else. And that's the way our eyes function. And right next to it is the narrow, what you call, canal kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
the deep portion, that is probably the most interesting, contrast in the image. Like the most, uh, what you call the brightest part, and then the darkest part.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that's really interesting, and
Well, it kind of flows. We kind of tend to look left to right. So you kind of go through here, and you hit this right here, and then it kind of leads you off. Yeah, it's cool.
In the dark areas, they set off each other. They because the dark is next to the bright areas, they make each other look a little bit more impactful.
Yep, you got it on both sides with a couple different levels of the lighter area in the middle. Very cool. Yeah, beach photography is very fun. I've done a little bit of it, but not since I've been back, into photography. And I need to go back to those places, back in the north, up off of Seattle. That type of stuff. Northern California, there's just so much interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting into fine art photography for next few weeks and start some projects, but now I'm really getting interested into abstracts like Frank does. So maybe I'll start a project on abstract.
No, these are very interesting stuff.
Very inspiring, yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Very good stuff. Yeah, I like it. All right, second to last. And I don't know if you noticed, Frank, but I did go in and change the contrast on this based on your comment.
I thought the white was a little grayish and flat, and if you pumped it up a little bit, it would really pop.
Yeah.
I love the tones here.
Yeah. This was a classic. I don't know what it is, 67, 68 maybe, at a car show, and there was a ton of people around. So any shot of the car from any wide angle would have just had a bunch of people in it. So I just found something that was unique, which was the logo, and got some interesting. I saw this, but when I post-processed, I saw the reflection back here that I didn't see before. So that was kind of interesting. And then the silver and chrome against the dark red was interesting to me. So this one came up
really
pretty
good contrast. Yeah. I like the angle that you used of the hood line, as opposed to being straightforward way we would be coming straight down.
Yeah.
Adding a diagonal, that's a nice.
And it kind of comes in at 1/3 and 2/3. I mean, it kind of crosses over that way. And, and just the difference, all the red and then the silver with a little bit of red in the flag there. Yeah, it came out very nice. I think I'm going to get a print of this and hang it on my office wall. I just really like the colors in this one.
All right, I just want to ask, the Chevrolet, under the Chevrolet letters, you see those letters exactly. What are those?
Those are coming from, I believe, there is a. I'm trying to think of the car specifically. I think this is at the back of the car. No, this is on the front. So I think you have a actual Chevrolet right down here that's getting reflected up here, I believe.
But it's still, I think it's right. That is also Chevrolet. So it's reflecting it in very. I mean, it looks like a part of this picture. I mean, this logo.
Yeah, and the logo is not. All this is just brushed aluminum, probably, or stained, probably aluminum, I would think. And then this is stamped on the top. This is raised. All this is raised by, a couple millimeters over the base.
Yeah, the lettering just makes it kind of look like an illustration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Serendipitously, it's
and the reflection.
Yeah.
The way the reflections are, it actually looks like a double layer kind of
Almost
logo.
like a hologram.
You know, it's a layer.
But
Yeah.
I can attest that when this car was produced, holograms didn't exist. This was a this is a fantastic car, and this is about the only part of the car I could afford would be the emblem.
Yes.
Very, very stunning car. I've seen it several times at the same car show, and this was first time I photographed this logo. And the light was decent and good position, so it came out pretty good. That's one I think I'm gonna maybe touch up a little bit. There's a couple little chips in the paint around here that I might go in and touch up a little bit, and then I'm gonna probably blow this up. I think I'll make like an 18 by 24 or something out of this and put it on the wall. Right in the middle of all
Try
It's
blowing
sharp.
out that shape on the top left, maybe, just to see how
yeah,
it
this over
goes
here.
with or with and without. Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that too. I've got to go in and just clone that out.
To see how
Basically.
it is with and without.
Yeah. No, this is a little distracting. Look at that.
A little bit, but not too much, you know.
Yeah. But it just like this little finger.
It's a nice shot.
Something red popping in there.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'll play around with it a little bit and get it printed out. I think it'll be nice on the wall. And then this
Very
one.
I
nice
like the sharp throughout.
Yeah, this one was. We were in Pittsburgh last week. I was visiting family. That's where I grew up, and I met up with another guy from Google Plus who lives in Pittsburgh, and we just took a couple-hour photo walk around. And it was kind of raining, spitting rain, drizzle, rain, sun, clouds. We came on this building. And
This is very nice.
Yeah, this is looking up. This is the top of the building up here. But it was raining, so we had to figure out how we wanted to shoot it, and I ended up just covering up the lens with the lens cleaning cloth, getting it all configured on the tripod, running out, jamming it up against a corner of the building, taking off the lens cleaning cloth, focusing, and then I did three bracketed shots, but I ended up just using the one and converting it to black and white because it looked a lot better in black and white than it did in color. But the
Really
alternating
cool.
reflection.
Yeah, love the reflections.
Yeah,
Yeah, very nice.
yeah, it's got some interesting crisscross reflections, and you really don't. To me, you look at it and it's like, well, which one is the reflection and which one is real? You know, so
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought I was looking through just some sort of skeletal grid of metal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the only thing, and I couldn't clean them all up, but you can look here on the white, which is basically the panes of the glass. There's little dirt and rain streaks, and there's no way I could get rid of all of them. So I just tried to get rid of the biggest ones, and I just left the rest on there.
Yeah, that'll be easy to get rid of in Photoshop.
Yeah. But,
Patch tool or a healing brush.
yeah, this was definitely a reflection, and the guy I was with took something similar, but I haven't seen what his take was on it, so it'll be interesting to see.
I was wondering if you could brighten up the windows, though.
Down here?
Yeah.
I could.
Or did you darken it specifically just to put more emphasis on the overall shape?
Well, on this one I did no, I didn't do a vignette. I did bump up the exposure a little bit in this. I probably could do a little bit more. You know, this is already white anyway, so if I bump up the exposure a little bit, this will be a little bit better, and it's not really going to affect these white areas anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it may not work. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I could probably bump it up like another half stop and reduce the blacks a little bit or something. But yeah, this was, and I cropped this. I cropped this not a fair, about 15-20% to get down to get the corners to line up the way they look nice. So
Yeah. It's really nice.
yeah, fun little reflection shot. So
it's really well exposed throughout because it's all in reflection, right? And it's very easy to get something overexposed when you're shooting reflections.
Mm-hmm.
End to end, very well exposed.
Yeah, well, the thing that helped was the fact that it was raining. So there was clouds everywhere. There was no direct sun on this at all. It was just overcast and drizzle. So it actually came out pretty good. I don't know what that is. Yeah, f8 120, 24 millimeter. So
Very nice image.
all right, so I'll stop that. Go back and so yeah, hopefully. Let me get back here. I'll stop the screen share. There I am. Back. So yeah, some good images, guys. Raj, we want to see video from your shoot here this morning.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Hopefully, I'll be back next week because I'll be visiting my family.
Okay.
So
good. That'll be fun.
I'll definitely post it on YouTube.
Good. I'll make a note to check that out.
No matter how embarrassing it is.
Okay. Well, good. Well, good show, guys.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
And I've got a few more to process for my trip up to Pittsburgh, as well as my my wonderful shoot with my old Olympus XA. So we'll see what happens with that. And Frank, you probably have some more from your shooting on Point Lobos, right?
Hold on, I'm sorry. Rui, he had a lot of echo coming through you, so I couldn't hear.
Oh.
Yeah, I muted him on my side. I'm sorry, what was the question?
I was going to say you probably have a lot of more images from that outing at Point Lobos that you're going to go through, or is that pretty much?
I'm going to try to get out there again.
Okay.
Maybe reshoot some of those things, but also obviously while I'm there, try to create some new art while I'm there as well. Mm-hmm. The weather here in California has been really lousy. It's just been blue skies for the last couple of years, so.
Yeah.
Really.
Perfect for tourists. The bane of photographers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been horrible.
Makes it tough. All right. Well, thanks for participating, everybody. Rui, have a good night. Raj, have yourself a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
And Frank, enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks. You too.
And we will be back. For Saturday next week, I think. I think we should be good there. So, all right. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Thanks everybody for watching now or later, whenever you watch this. Make sure to send any questions or comments. You can just post to the video or on Google+. I'll try to answer them. And if you want to join the group, you're watching this and want to join the group, just follow me on Google+. I'll add you to the circle, and then you'll get the invite for upcoming photo shares. So until next week, take care, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks.
See you later.
See you.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye.